I just don't get it.
So what now? Maggots, what now?
We need help.
Why this time? Why?
He effed around and he found out.
It does sound familiar for some reason.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to the show. So glad you could be here today. Listen, we've got a great show planned for you. Of course, we've got the hypocritical left that apparently is now in support of a dictator, although they've been screaming otherwise for the last 10 years, you know, Orange Man bad. And stick around because we're going to be showing you an auditing firm that did audits in Minnesota and Ohio, and it's linked to NGOs. And of course, more fraud. You can't make this stuff up, my friends. So let's jump into that liberal pool of madness right now. So sit back, relax, and buckle up. We're about to enter the Lib Zone.
You know what I think bothers me so much about when I talk to somebody about being non-binary, or they're talking about somebody that is non-binary?
How often does that happen? I actually never have a conversation with anybody that I know about being non-binary. Is it different for you? Let me know. I don't know how often that happens. For me, it's zero.
And they're like, I just don't get it. And like, it's too hard for me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all I hear is that your comfortability is more important than trying to learn to respect somebody else. That's weird. And also, that means it's more about you and how you feel than about the person.
We're at war. I called it.
No, we're not.
Didn't want to, but I knew Grumpty Dumpty was going there. So what now? Maggots, what now?
We in the U.S.
Yeah.
have no control over what's happening. The citizens do not approve of what's going on. We are held hostage by our government.
I don't
We need
think
help.
so. Yes, you do need help. Yes, that is true.
Why are we at war? Why
not.
is America at war?
We're not. As far as I know, I don't think it's escalated.
We've been at war during my life several times.
True.
Why this time? Why?
I support the current thing. I'm helping. Yes, you are progressives. That'll do, Piggy. That'll do. Just a quick reminder, you can sponsor the show with links down below, Super Thanks and PayPal. Also, we are on Rumble. Link will be down below. Plus, on my other channel, Dave Reacts, we're starting a new series called Tales from the Vault. There are 3 separate stories, all in one episode. It's a little bit different from the reaction videos. Actually, it's a lot different, but I think you'll enjoy them. So check it out. Give it a shot. I think you'll enjoy it. And let's get on with the rest of the show.
No, I'm actually not a huge fan of political leaders who claim to be the leaders of a democracy, but then use the legal system to attack and silence political opponents, do violent crackdowns on protesters, jail protest leaders, who want to shut down and control the free media.
You're totally talking about Maduro, right? I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about. Am I wrong?
I'm not for that. I don't like that at all, although
okay.
It does sound familiar for some reason.
You don't go into another country and do military exercise to remove the president in power. That's against international law.
Well, actually, as far as I understand, I think it was in Trump's first term, there was an actual indictment placed against Maduro, but he just didn't have a chance to do anything about it before they stole the election from him. And of course, Biden doesn't have the balls to do anything but get a big cone of ice cream. So, yeah, I don't think you're actually right on this one.
You know what I'm saying? If that president is a dictator, that have nothing to do with you. Because those people, they're not your people. And when we come up, we talk about it, bro. America.
With what? With Badi Boo? Okay.
And put over 1 million people in prison, more than any other country. You enslaved black people for 400 years, bro.
What? We did not enslave black people for 400 years, dude. We're the ones that actually stopped slavery, at least here in America.
Invade Afghanistan for 25 years. Like, you guys are not the best out here in the street, bro. Y'all the boogeyman. You feel me? So y'all have no place to give any person the morals or whatever. If that country is bringing drugs into your country, bro, build better infrastructures
or just take out the boats before they get to America. I don't see any problems with that.
To keep the drugs from coming in your country.
Yeah.
You don't go to another country and kidnap the president. That's illegal.
Well, let's take a look and see what the press was doing the whole time Maduro was absolutely throttling his countrymen down there in Venezuela. Okay, yep, he's definitely taking it to them, and the press just couldn't care less. Yep. Continuing the pounding, the oppression, and yeah, just sipping a smoothie. The press could care less as well. Wait a minute. What is America doing? Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's have some more faux outrage, you douchebags.
Never in my life did I think I'd be watching a presidential press conference and hear them say he effed around and he found out.
What do you know about Nicolas Maduro?
Nothing. I'm just getting a paycheck. That's all I'm doing.
I don't know much, bro, but I'm here with
Shocking.
Central CSO, and we fight against all this.
Stuff.
With like the Trump administration,
of course, yeah.
ICE, police brutality.
Yeah.
So we're just here in support of all that right now.
And what does Maduro have to do with all that?
Shit, bro, but we're here.
Crap, bro, I don't know. Nothing.
In support.
I mean, it makes sense. Nicolas Maduro is responsible for almost 8 million people leaving Venezuela, like a quarter of their population over the last decade. I mean, he's contributed a lot, right?
Yeah. But we just here supporting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go Nicolas Maduro. Can we do that? Let's do it. Go. No.
I said no new wars. I didn't say anything about beatdowns, bitch slaps, and curb stomps. That's awesome. And let's just remember that there has been a 180 turnaround with the military, because I can guarantee you that Delta Force operators that were part of extracting Maduro, they were the best of the best. They weren't there because they were checking a box off of some DEI list. And thank you, Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, for really turning around and reestablishing that warrior ethos. And here's President Trump talking about how the raid went and how it was just maybe the most perfect raid ever by our military. It's so very Trump. Let's take a look.
The force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history.
And here's America's bulldog, Stephen Miller, absolutely taking it to CNN.
You invaded the country. We went into the country and we seized the leader of Venezuela.
Damn straight we did.
And I'm
because
saying,
we're not going to let.
So is the U.S. going to have new elections?
Jake, is that we're not going to let Tim Pot communist dictators send rapists into our country, send drugs into our country, send weapons into our country.
Okay.
And we're not going to let a country fall into the hands of our adversaries.
And here's a few clips showing that the Democrats just cannot get out of their own way. A couple clips from Schumer showing his inability to give Trump any credit. And here's a clip that we've shown on this show before. It's of then Senator Biden, and he's saying exactly what Trump did. So just Democrats, shut up with the hypocrisy and try to just do something for America just once. That would be great.
The American people are scratching their heads and saying, this is not what Trump said he would do. This is not what we bargained for. This is not America first.
The president brags about his Venezuela policy? Give us a break. He hasn't brought an end to the Maduro regime. The Maduro regime is more powerful today.
Let's go after the drug lords where they live with an international strike force. There must be no safe haven for these narco-terrorists, and they must know it.
Hakeem Jeffries, how about you shut up and quit hoping that the president's plan in Venezuela fails, and maybe you support the president of the United States and ensure that it doesn't. You've done nothing but go after the president and say everything he's going to do is failing, and none of it has. You claimed his border plan would fail, and it didn't. You claimed his tariffs would fail and crash the economy. It didn't. You claimed the tariffs would cause massive inflation, and it didn't. You claimed the stock market was going to crash, and it didn't. You claimed bombing Iran would not work and get us into World War III, and it didn't. How about you stop fighting on behalf of other countries and fight on behalf of the United States?
Never happen. It'll never happen. I'm sorry.
You guys, in your stance on tariff, gave other countries power to say Democrats will fight on our behalf, so we will hold strong. Had you instead united with the president, maybe a lot of these deals would have already been done and completed. How about you stand united with the president of the United States because he did exactly what you guys said needed to be done with Maduro, and now that it's been done, you're angry, not because it was done, but because he had the balls to do it. Stand behind the president of the United States, make the United States a stronger country, and quit fighting against us every chance you get because you have TDS more than anybody.
I can't be the only Canadian that was hoping Trump would stop by Canada and grab Carney too. Don't bomb us, but grab Carney too and help us. Oh my.
As a democratic socialist, I'm wondering if, what are your thoughts on the Venezuelan crisis that's happening right now, and if you would denounce the Maduro regime?
Yeah, so I think that this is absolutely a complex issue. I think it's important that that we approach this very carefully. One, I'm myself, just like anyone else, who is absolutely concerned with the humanitarian crisis that's happening. And I think it's important that any solution that we have centers the Venezuelan people and centers the democracy of Venezuelan people first. I am very concerned about U.S. interventionism in Venezuela, and I oppose it.
Wow, that was so insightful, AOC. And way to go with missing an opportunity to condemn an actual dictator for once.
Democrats, I hope you know you lost the Hispanic vote for generations. Testing the capture of Maduro and asking for his release has offended every single Hispanic voter that there is in the country. Every Hispanic voter knows somebody or has family members from Venezuela or South America. Everybody knows how horrible the dictatorship of Maduro and Chavez has been for Latin Americans. You just keep proving to everyone over and over again that you don't know what you're doing, that you don't care about anyone. You only care about your optics and
your power.
What it means to be opposed to the Republican Party.
Would you look at that? It only took 77 days for these whack job liberals to go from no kings to free the dictator.
It's like y'all are so legalistic about everything. Like y'all find a way to turn everything against America and turn it against Trump and turn it against yourself.
It's their speciality.
We're on stolen land anyway, so who cares if we leave our borders open? We can't just take a dictator from another country and put him in court in New York. The Constitution doesn't allow that. Why are you guys complaining about things that are good for America? It's like this is why I say I don't know if I want them to have the Bible. Because they would be the ones who will start stoning people. Like, didn't the Bible say, cut your hand off if it causes you to sin? What about your right eye? Like, everybody will be walking around as amputees or just fully dead because...
They'd be walking around fully dead? I think that would be a whole nother problem civilization would be having, but I get your point.
They just took everything so literal. Like, y'all gotta relax. Liberals, relax. I
True.
just saw a video where a grown man with his shirt off and tattoos said, I hope you guys are happy when they come over here and start seizing our oil tankers and kidnapping people, because that's the precedence that we just set. And I'm just looking like, they're broken. Lord Jesus, they're broken. What are we gonna do? Lord, they are broken. What is happening?
Yeah. Yeah. Unless it's Maduro. I mean, then we're totally cool with that.
I'm going to try to say this as respectfully as I can.
Okay.
To our Democratic and liberal friends, to hopefully well-intentioned but poorly informed people, sit this one out.
Yeah.
See, when the people who are mostly affected are celebrating in the street, this is not the time for you to protest. If you do not personally know someone who tells stories about their father or grandfather being gathered in the street and killed in front of them for their opinion, if you have never had to console your friend because she didn't get to go visit her mother on her deathbed and has never been able to go lay flowers at her gravesite because she was not allowed back into her own country, sit down respectfully. What you have to understand is that regardless of your opinions about President Trump, to a lot of people, he is an answer to prayer.
That's kind of why he was saved by the hand of God.
Yes, people have prayed for the downfall of this dictator. And like it or not, President Trump has been the answer to that prayer. Imagine that a third of the country fled, not because they wanted a better life or new opportunities or the opportunity to make money, but they wanted to not starve in their own homes. You can't understand that. You didn't grow up watching the same news as the rest of us in the Caribbean and Latin America did. It's not your fault that you don't know. You're just not informed. So respectfully, sit this one out. Let Venezuela have their victory. No one will judge you. In fact, well, thank you. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know that what they have just been liberated from, it's going to be better. Para nuestros hermanos de Venezuela, que Dios lo cuide, que Dios lo guíe, y que Dios lo bendiga.
Yeah, that is absolutely great advice. However, it is not going to stop the awfuls of this country. They just can't help themselves.
Good morning. I can't believe we got to get into this first thing in the morning, but let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, when you think the Democrats can't get any dumber, poof, they're out protesting on behalf of a dictator while calling Trump a dictator. And then the amount of people coming at me, you know it's the Jews, you know it's the oil. I don't give a I don't. I'm witnessing an entire country full of people who have been enslaved for decades finally free. Can we embrace the moment? And now that that moment's over, Trump, it's time to go to work, baby. We got our own problems on American soil. You need to start rounding up these corrupt politicians, all of these corrupt Somali Durka rounding them all up and shipping them all the out. So I'm going to tell you now, you can start with Tim Walz, Ilhan Omar, her brother husband, round up all of the Durkas, all of their Somali cousins, round up every single one of these camel humping inbreds and get them the out of here. You go ahead and get Mondambi too. He's a real piece of shit. We don't need that shit on American soil.
That's
then
true.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and round up the people from the Epstein, the Diddy, the COVID fuckers, round them all up, the J6 committee, and get them all motherfucking locked up too. So yeah, there's plenty of problems on American soil that need to be fixed. So let's go ahead and get started on them because we want accountability. I love all of you. I'm your Huckleberry.
Hey, Washington, quick question. We got to talk. So where are the arrests here? Now, I know the answer, I do, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. Okay. Oh, come on, we can invade a foreign country, capture a corrupt dictator, just like that.
Yep.
No time at all.
Yep.
Really, that was fantastic.
I mean, it was planned for a few months now. It just didn't President Trump just didn't wake up, last Friday night and been like, hey, or last Friday, Been like, hey, let's get Maduro. so there was a little bit of planning.
And I'm happy for my Venezuelan brothers and sisters out there. Really,
Yeah.
I am. It's amazing. But the American people, we sit here in our own country waiting for our own corrupt politicians,
Yeah.
the liars, the cheaters, the thieves, waiting on for them to be arrested here, drain the swamp, right? We'd like to see that. The accountability, we want to see that. Really, we do.
Yeah. But we want to jail the swamp. That's what we need.
But don't hold your breath. You're liable to pass out otherwise. 0 arrests, 0 accountability.
Yeah, come on, Bondi. What the heck? How many like slam dunk cases need to be thrown on your desk before you make an actual arrest here? Jeez Louise.
Right? Of government officials, people behind the issues, orchestrating them.
Yeah.
There won't be any arrests. It's too self-contained. They feed each other. They protect each other. Most everything is theater, but it's okay. It's okay because they think they can get away with it here. And they probably will. Being honest, they probably will. But there is a judgment coming for each and every one of us.
Yeah,
All
that's
you
true.
corrupt politicians in Washington, too. You can trust that. You will stand accountable one day to the one righteous judge, and you will answer for every single thing that you have done, just like the rest of us will. And what rests my mind, what rests my spirit, is that there is no judgment by man that could be more deserved than what God has planned for the unrepentant evil in this world.
I second everything that guy just said. You know, even though consequences may not be delved out to these politicians here on earth, they will most certainly be held accountable in the next life. There's no escaping that. There's been at least one thing that has defined the last few presidents, going back to President Bush. Let's check that out. I got Saddam. Okay. I got Osama. Very good. I got Maduro. Right. Well, let's see what Biden got. Oh yeah, he got ice cream. Yeah, that makes sense. And he got lots of it.
Good morning. The low IQ suckers are at it again. Everywhere I look, there are paid-for protests brought to you by the DNC. It's wild how an hour after the fact, you guys are already out there orchestrated with professional signs and banners. It's almost like the DNC did it for you.
Strange.
Now, real quick, wasn't it like 2 months ago that we had a bunch of No Kings protests?
Yeah.
Now we're protesting on behalf of one?
Yeah.
Every day for a decade, all we hear is dictator this, dictator that, and now we're protesting on behalf of one. You can't make this shit up. I'm gonna be honest with you. It has to be exhausting for you liberals. The constant validation, the constant virtue signaling, the constant paid for protest. I mean, don't get me wrong. We know there's a script involved. We can tell all of your chanting is the same. Just change the words. Y'all are good little puppets, really. Y'all are gonna go down in history as the dumbest on the planet. On a side note, do you want to hear something laughable? On one hand, we got New York celebrating socialism. And on the other hand, we got Venezuela celebrating the freedom from socialism. I guess New York's going to have to learn the hard way. Oh, by the way, how was that 5 a.m. wake-up call this morning? Yeah. Oh, I love it. Reap what you sow, baby.
And speaking of socialism, Mamdani is wasting no time in securing the destruction of New York City. He just appointed his new tenant director, Sia Weaver. And, well, she has some pretty interesting ideas on all those people in New York City that own their own homes. Check it out.
I think the reality is that for centuries we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good, and we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity will require that we think about it differently, and it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that we currently have.
Make no mistake, my friend, what she's talking about is shared equity, which really means you're going to lose what you got. So, sorry. I mean, it's what you voted for, right? I can't say for sure this is a Mamdani effect, but I keep seeing these videos of people basically cooking food on a shopping cart. This cannot pass health inspection laws. I don't know how this is happening, but New York City is turning into a third world country. Check it out. I mean, it looks good. Don't get me wrong, but I would never buy that. There's no way. Nope. Pass. Hard pass. Mm-mm.
You ever watch somebody implode in real time? Because that's exactly what we just saw from Governor Timmy. That shit was beautiful. Tim Walz didn't end his third term dream. That shit face planted at full speed. And he tried to roll away before anyone noticed the skid marks. This dude rolled up to the mic like he was about to announce world peace, and instead delivers the political equivalent of "It's not my fault."
And it's funny because at the end of the his little press conference, which we're going to show a little bit clip of, he just totally bailed. Like, he was out of there. And even the press, they were like, what the crap? Walz like answer at least one question, you big retard.
It's Trump's fault and those meanies on the internet poisoning everyone.
Yeah.
Nah, player. I mean, come on. Welfare fraud exploded on his watch into a scandal so big that federal prosecutors are sniffing around.
Yep.
And now most of the headlines are Tim Walz drops out due to fraud criticism.
Yep.
Not Walz runs the perfect state. And that masterpiece of deflection. Instead of accountability, we got the greatest pivot since Ross tried to move the couch upstairs. Donald Trump and his allies want to make Minnesota colder and meaner. Bro, you're in Minnesota. It's already cold.
True.
When you're running from a scandal instead of running to solutions, you've already lost. You don't get to blame everyone else, especially when people are watching their own tax dollars get hijacked by Diddy clones. You don't get to go, oh, look, Trump made me do it. That's not leadership. That is excuse in a cheap-ass suit. Dropping out of a historic bid is not bravery, bro. You threw a smoke bomb and sprinted your ass towards the exit. People don't remember the guy who almost did. They remember the dude who said, nah, I'm good when shit got rough. And the audacity to talk about raising a family while families are watching their money disappear into fake programs and ghost operations.
Yep.
So good riddance. Because blaming everybody under the sun for your own political missteps ain't accountability. That shit is peak comedy. Nah, player.
And here's a little bit of the press conference where Tim Walz was blaming everybody under the sun except for taking responsibility himself for letting this fraud happen. And quite frankly, pretty sure he was participating in it. There's no way he wasn't, skimming a little bit off the top and maybe the middle and just a smidge off the bottom as well. Check it out.
I can't give a political campaign my all. Every minute that I spend defending my own political interest would be a minute I can't spend defending the people of Minnesota against the criminals who prey on our generosity and the cynics who want to prey on our differences. So I've decided to step out of this race. I did not run for this job to have the job. I ran for the job to do the job. If Republicans continue down the path of abusing power, smearing entire communities, and running their own fraudulent game at the expense of Minnesotans, I will fight back with everything that I have.
And here's an average citizen from Minnesota giving his 2 cents on this whole situation. We really haven't heard from normal folk yet, so take a look.
To make all the Somalis in the state of Minnesota feel like they're being picked on by the government and by the media and all that. I mean, Somalis may have been involved in some of this and they need to be held accountable, but you can't hold Somalia community accountable.
And if you think all this fraud is wrapping up, no. It is totally not. It is still going pretty strong. At least they're attempting to keep it going. Let's take a look at this next clip.
All right, this message is for the brother lover. I need old Elon Omar to come front and center. I got a question for you, baby girl. Now, honey child, I just happened to stumble across some stuff online that had me a little concerned, kind of threw up a red flag. This was a Minnesota Craigslist ad that was posted 3 days ago, girlfriend.
What?
And it's talking about a daycare that's in the city that got its funding just cruelly ripped away from them without no cause.
What?
And it's because of the white supremacy. Oh, Lord, honey. And now they got to try to prove to get their funding back, and they need to hire some kids. They need to hire some kids, girl. What? But wait, hold up. I thought y'all said the kids were there. Remember, y'all were out here screaming to the high heavens that Nick Shirley was trying to be a pedo to look at these quote-unquote kids in the daycares. So why are you out here trying to hire some actors? Huh?
Good question.
Why did somebody post that if y'all are running legitimate businesses with legitimate children? Why are you needing to hire them? Girl. Y'all just keep proving every daggone day just how low that IQ is. Lord bless it.
So I'm about to show you a picture of the auditing firm. This is the listed location for the auditing firm that performed the audits for both the Minnesota and Ohio. On the NGOs we have linked to potential fraud. Cannot make this stuff up, my friends. Let's check it out. Jubba Value Center. Wow, okay. That seems pretty not suspect at all. Totally legit, nothing wrong here. Fraud? What fraud? Trust in Jubba. And here's some really excellent advice when washing the clothes of your children. Because I'm pretty sure this one would be a little tough to figure out for most people. Let's check it out. Remove child before washing. Do they really have to put that on the label? I suppose somebody threw their whole entire kid into the wash, and hence the warning. Ay. Women no longer needed in China. Scientists have created an android capable of carrying a child from conception to birth instead of a woman. I don't know. I don't think that's the actual android they're talking about. But hey, you know what? Listen to all those blue-haired lesbians that have stated for years that they don't need men. Well, checkmate. We don't need you now either. This next guy might have some of the worst luck out there. I think they also need to seriously look at revoking his driver's license, because apparently if something can be hit, this guy's gonna hit it. Come on, seriously, man? You just had to hit the pole, huh? All that empty space in between the poles, and yeah, I had to hit the pole.
It's time for Dave's Detox.
Oh, does not like the mower. Oh, nice. Why didn't I have a dog like that when I played volleyball?
Closed, or you're gonna get off him.
So funny.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Okay, that's kind of cute, but kind of creepy. Cat crack.
Self-control, please.
He's addicted. Not the cat crack. There you go. It's a good way of getting a walk. Oh, that's cute. Oh boy. No, why? Why would anybody do this? Like, am I gonna get something? That dog is awesome. Wait, where'd this sea lion come from? What? What? Okay. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and thank you to all those that subscribed today, and thank you for hitting that thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Look, there's going to be some videos popping up here. I think you're going to enjoy them, so check them out today. And until the next episode, stay safe, know that you're loved and appreciated, and until we meet again, have a great day.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.